All right, hello. Welcome to the stream. Before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and roll this month's giveaway. Get that out of the way. Cast a fish.
Hi, doggy.
Oh, hi, doggy. It's Clarence! Now you gotta pay the dog tax. Oh, good boy. Let's get our music going here. Gotta find the right one. There it is. Slow down, let's turn it down a bit. Alright! It's time for the giveaway. Alright, first place goes to MT Mark ZT. I gotta go to my Discord here. Alright. Leave that. No, don't. Alright, congratulations to June's winners. First place is MT Mark ZT. Second place goes to Window and Lux, or Wind Down Lux. Alright, and third place, runner-up goes to Juan Thrisco. There we go. Huzzah! Congratulations to the winners. I will reach out via Twitch messaging and get you your prizes. Alright, let's see. Mark ZT. Hey, you won first place in my humble choice giveaway for June. Are you still interested in a copy of Ixia Kane Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered, or nobody wants to die? Question mark. All right, mark giveaway is complete. Yes, I know I won't be able to draw any more winners. It's fine. All right, close that. All right. Oh, I gotta take down that extension. Hang on. We're not playing Eco right now. Deactivate that. Okay, so congratulations to the winners. Here's a sneak peek of Humble Choice for July. We're going to get voting up in the Discord here in just a second. Get those yeah, I'll do it later. Let's go ahead and move on to the game. Save the world! Oh, we're not actually saving the world. Let's see. Close the giveaway box. Tagline is now yacht. Tagline is now yacht. But why is it yacht? Well, I'll show you. I gotta connect my controller. All right, let's see. Please hold it like this. Okay. There we go. Try and get it to fit to the screen here. You haven't seen this, Joe? The hero of law. You want to turn off your console during scene transitions. Okay. It's so quiet. Do you think they forgot? Guess I should just go in then. my gosh! March 17th, 9:37 a.m. Hyrule Grand Court. Defendant lobby number 3. You'd think after so many years of doing this, I'd be used to the stress. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna change my controls here.
Charge complete.
So why am I shaking? God, I guess it's a lot worse when it's your friend's life that's on the line. Link's dialogue isn't just various grunts with subtitles. Hat! 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 Hot! Yeah! Hi! What is it, attorney? The trial isn't starting yet. But it will be soon, right? Would you happen to know why my client isn't here yet? I didn't get to speak much with her when she was arrested, so I was hoping I could at least exchange a word with her now. Wahaha! Well, you weren't the only one with the idea. I believe she is currently in the prosecutor's lobby. He wanted to talk to her as well. What? What is up with this guy? Bars me from the crime scene, blocks my detention center visits, and now this? Not to worry, she will definitely be here before the trial. Great, that'll be a joyous 5 minutes indeed. But there's nothing I can do but wait. Sometime later. Okay, this is ridiculous. How much longer can he keep her? Ah, see, there she is. No need to get all worked up. Is something wrong? Did I hear shouting? So much for looking professional. No, don't worry, everything's fine. Your Honor, the prosecution has literally prevented me from doing my job. It's a clear case for mistrial due to interference with the defense. This is Malin. Ever since we met in Hyrule Castletown all those years ago, we've been great friends. Alright, give me a sec to turn the chat box. A bit darker so you can see what we're doing here. Her heart's in the right place. I know she cared deeply about her father. If everything's fine, why do you look so worried? Well, how did the investigation go? Did you find anything? Yeah, the investigation found tons of, groundbreaking stuff. Particularly that my opponent's a real scumbag. Is it gonna be Ganon? What did the prosecutor want from you anyway? Well, it was mostly just threats. He kept explaining in detail what'll happen to me if I'm found guilty. Doesn't sound like a vital discussion needed to happen right before the trial. Pro just did that so we wouldn't have much time to talk. You believe in me, right? I didn't do it. I never. Of course I believe you. Right. Of course I believe you. Although I'll be honest, things aren't looking very good right now. What's that you got there? Oh, this is just a pictograph of Father I carry around. I just can't believe he's gone. Wish I knew how to cheer her up right now. I'm not very good at handling emotional clients. Hey, you know, that pictograph could be real useful for the trial. Oh, how so? Well, you look so happy together. I could present it to show that you two had a great relationship. You really think so? Oh, well, here you go then. At least I'll be walking in there with something other than my badge. But wait, we shouldn't just be idly chatting. Anyway, there's not much time left. I know it's hard to talk about, but could you tell me what actually happened? I don't stand much chance if I don't know your version of the story. I understand. Unfortunately, there isn't much to... The trial is starting. Defendant attorney, please enter the courtroom at once. Uh-oh. Shouldn't have said that stuff about having no chance. Alright, everything will be fine. Prosecutor's been playing me for a fool since this began, but sooner or later his arrogance will be his undoing. Let's head inside. My name is Link. I've been a defense attorney for the last 7 years. Won my fair share of cases, and lost some too, but this one is personal. There's so much at stake here. Not only do I have to save Malon's life, I gotta find out who did this to Talon. Talon, he was always so kind. He didn't deserve this. I need to do him justice. I can't lose this. Yeah, it's Ganon. That's hilarious. Court is now in session for the trial of Malon of Lon Lon Ranch. Age 27. Alright. Court is now in session for the trial of Malon. The defense is ready, Your Honor. I sincerely doubt that. What were they thinking, pitting me against some pathetic kid? Pathetic kid, what gives you the right to... Still your tongue. You bring shame upon the fine color of your hair, vile woman. Before long, the world shall know the horrible deeds you've committed. Let us not prolong the inevitable. Shall we begin? Now, this court is no place to be exchanging insults. Since the prosecution seems ready as well, let's hear the opening statement. The opening statement should also be the closing one. The girl did it. It's obvious. She killed her own father in cold blood. All so she could have the ranch to herself. Couldn't wait for the old fool to die naturally, could you, you greedy little rat? Yeah. Your Honor, you can't allow this man to verbally abuse the defendant like this. Oh! Ah, she committed murder, kid. She deserves every bit of scorn she gets. I do believe a little less commentary wouldn't go amiss. Bah. I assure you, old man, you will change your opinion once you see all the damning evidence. Who is this guy? How can he speak to the judge like that? Ganondorf Dragmire. Looks like I've been lucky to avoid meeting this man until now. Stories I've heard about him must be true. A boorish barbarian of a man hailing from the Gerudo province. Apparently he prides himself on the nearly clean streak he's cultivated for decades, all while disrespecting everyone in the court, including the judge. I even heard some attorneys refer to him as the King of Evil. Definitely has that look, at the very least. Who wears full armor to court? Very well, please present your case to the court. You don't seem to like me talking, so I'll just let the detective present the basics. Bring Impa of the Sheikah Force to the stand. Well, here we go, the first battle. I know Impa, she's quite a competent detective. Which worries me. Please let her have made a mistake just this once. Alright, state your name, whatever it is you pretend to do. You never change, do you, prosecutor? Any possible change would be for the worst. Now stop wasting time. Name and occupation. Oh man. Very well. I'm Impa, head detective of the Sheikah Force, Homicide Division. True for now, at least. Well, what are you waiting for? Start talking. You were the one assigned to this case, so you know all about it. What calamity has befallen our fair kingdom? Still can't be bothered to give a proper opening statement. I suppose I could do the prosecutor's job for him this time, looking for the sake of an unbiased look. Please go ahead, detective. The incident happened early yesterday morning on Lon Lon Ranch, a local supply of goods located just south of Castletown. The current owner of the homestead, Talon, was found dead in his ranch house. A tragic loss for our kingdom for sure. I've seen this man around Castletown a number of times, delivering goods. Quite. The owner was a rather important figure in the local community. It's Caparagabera's theme. In any case, We were alerted to the scene of the murder by the Royal Guard, who were there on official business. Official business? What kind? As I understand, the ranch provides the kingdom with vital services. To ensure it is operating as it should, and as a gesture of appreciation, the Crown orders a visitation of the ranch every year. I see. A scheduled annual visit. Continue, Detective. When the Sheikah force arrived, they found the victim bleeding out onto the floor. Next to him lay his daughter, Malin, breathing but unresponsive. After a thorough investigation, we arrested her, as she was deemed the only possible culprit. That about covers the gist of what happened. Very nice and succinct. Keep that up, perhaps you'll keep your job. Oh, I don't think the good detective here has to worry much about that, given she is the head of the department. Which reminds me, why is the head of detectives herself in a case like this? Were the other detectives unavailable? Ah, that would be because I have been assigned to this case by the order of the King of Hyrule himself. The King himself assigned you? That doesn't happen very often, does it? You are correct, Your Honor. I am not usually involved in field work like this. This time, however, the King felt it necessary because of who is involved. Who is involved? Is the death of a ranch worker really such a concern for the King? Well, as I said, London Ranch is a very important supplier of goods, to be sure. But that's not who I meant. I imagine the King wanted the top investigators on this job because it was the royal princess herself who discovered the crime scene. Order! I will have order! Royal Princess Zelda witnessed the crime. Ah, and there you have it. The case rides on the princess's own words. To doubt it would be to doubt your own royalty. This is bad. I can't really object to that. Very well. If the princess is testifying today, better we don't make her needlessly wait. Detective, please testify about exactly why the defendant was arrested. Witness testimony. Reasons for arrest. It is with regret that I agree with Dragmire. All the evidence points towards the scorer being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitely took place inside the ranch house. There were only 3 people on the ranch. The victim, the defendant, and the worker who has an alibi for the time of the crime. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out onto the floor. Furthermore, she was holding a weapon. Without a doubt, that's what was used to kill the victim. She seems like such a bright girl. It's most unfortunate. Your Honor, I would like to submit these pieces of evidence to your court. First, I have the autopsy report, performed by the Crown's top coroner. Here is what we determined to be the murder weapon, which we took from the defendant's hands. To make sure we had the correct weapon, we conducted a very thorough investigation. Naturally, we searched everyone and thoroughly examined the ranch and its vicinity. Nothing unusual was found, but to be safe, we also checked the ranch's inventory list to see whether anything was missing. The list matches the items we found on the ranch exactly, and nothing but the saw had fresh blood on it. That does sound quite compelling. Must have been truly a terrifying scene. Dying from a wound made by a weapon like this is extremely painful. This only helps to prove to the defendant's viciousness. At this rate, they're going to paint Malin as some heartless monster. But there's one more thing I feel I should mention for the sake of completeness. Shortly after we arrived at the ranch, a courier showed up to take some milk shipments. Of course, business must go on. Is this really necessary to enter into evidence, though? The shipments did end up leaving the ranch, so I feel it bears mentioning. Were the contents checked before you let them go? Naturally. Who do you take us for? Even though the worker handling the shipments didn't get quite worked up about it, we cracked all of the boxes open and checked what was inside. In the end, it did turn out to only be milk bottles, so we let them through. Very well. Thank you for your thoroughness, Detective. So what happens now? Well, this is where I step in and perform a cross-examination. Oh, great. How does that work? Huh? Could you explain what you're going to be doing? Can't hurt to go over this again. Sure, why not? The witness will repeat her testimony. I'll be able to scroll back and forth through individual statements by pressing A and B, or with the thumbstick. They'll just repeat as many times as you want? That's right. I have to consider every little detail. Can't miss a thing. If I want more info about something, I use L or Z to press the statement and ask the witness a question. Grill them for info! Yep, since the witness has to come up with an answer on the spot. If they're lying, prompting for more info can make them slip up. Most importantly though, if I find something that doesn't line up with the evidence, I can press R to bring up the court record. The court record is basically a list of all the evidence, right? Yes. I can open it any time if I need to recheck the facts. After choosing the contradicting item, I'll press C up to raise an objection and present my doubts to the court. Oh, and I can not only present evidence, but profiles as well. Profiles? The court record contains a list of all the people involved too. I can switch between evidence and profiles with R. If I need to review what's been said recently, I can also press start to see a history of messages. Oh, I see, that makes sense. Is the defense done whispering? Yeah, sorry. If he's so upset about it, why didn't he just press C right to skip ahead? The defense is ready to cross-examine the witness. Bah! A waste of time. I sincerely hope you're not implying that standard court procedure is a waste of time, Mr. Dragmire. In any case, we're ready, defense. Please begin the cross-examination. Alright, let's take a look at our evidence! Alright, let's see. Deep, irregular wound made with a sharp metal object. Victim died from loss of blood no later than 8 a.m. Hang on. It's clean of blood. List of equipment on the ranch. Rakes, garden hose, buckets, hammers, knives, wood saws, one piece, saddles, horseshoes, axes, brooms. Knives. Name Ingo. Left the ranch a little while after the crime. Clean of blood. Wait, let's see what the alibi is. Hey! 3 people, you say? I guess that would have to be Mr. Ingo. Let me stop you before you start getting too excited. You listen to the rest of what the detective said. You know she mentioned an alibi. Indeed, we are pretty certain that the ranch couldn't have been involved. Well, what is this alibi then? You might remember that I brought some outgoing milk shipments? Well, the worker Ingo was in charge of them. He left the ranch house first thing in the morning. Was busy preparing the shipments after that. Is that so? Surely he could have gotten away from that for one really quick little murder. Bah, this wouldn't just be a quick little murder, as you so crudely put it. He'd have to take steps to hide his involvement, too. There was definitely not enough time for that. Unfortunately, I agree. Preparing a shipment is a lot of work. You have to milk all the cows, clean all the bottles, pour the milk out into them, arrange them all into crates, and finally load it up onto a wagon. Usually I had to do it together with Father and finish before the courier arrived. Shipments were already ready when we arrived at the ranch. When we checked the boxes, they were all fully loaded with filled milk bottles. This Ingo was able to do all the work with 2 people on his own. Isn't that a bit odd? Odd or not, he evidently did just that. Clearly he's a man dedicated to his job. Or perhaps the girl and her father are just very inefficient. The whole thing seems awfully suspicious if you ask me, but I guess I have nothing to dispute it with. Alright, 1 second. Look at profiles. Yeah, okay. Leaning out onto the floor. Without doubt that was used to kill the victim. Hold on a second. Objection! Huh, this seems like a fairly large oversight. I just want to make sure of something. The state that Saul is currently in is how you found it at the crime scene? That's correct. That's strange. Considering how much the victim bled out and how deep his wound was. Why is there no blood on the supposed murder weapon? Is that all you have? Huh? Naturally, the prosecution has an explanation for why the saw is clean. Behold, this cloth was found in the defendant's other hand. As you can plainly see, it is stained with blood. The defendant simply left the murder weapon in a futile attempt to hide her involvement. Well, objection! Mel was trying to hide her involvement. Why didn't she just leave the crime scene? Bah! Obviously, she was trying to hide the body before the royal visitation arrived at the ranch. Fortunately for her, it just so happened that the delegation arrived quite a bit earlier than scheduled. In a panic, she quickly licked the saw off and pretended to faint to make it look like she just stumbled upon the scene. Yeah. Young lady, things are not looking very good for you right now. The court accepts the bloodied cloth into evidence. So, what's the story with this cloth? Well, as I was doing a final check around the ranch, I noticed that part of the fence around the horse paddock was damaged. Not entirely sure when that happened, but sometimes one of the horses just gets a bit too rowdy, you know? Right. Anyway, I didn't want to bother Miss Dingo about it, so I tried to cut up a new rail by myself to patch it up. But then the saw slipped and I cut my hand open. Oh, goddesses, are you okay? Well, it wasn't that bad. It did bleed quite a lot though, so I used that cloth to quickly bandage the wound. I was actually going into the ranch house to ask Father to help me with the fence. A likely story. Impossible to verify now, of course. The Sheikah force had to use a ferry on the defendant to get her out of her supposed unconsciousness. I do have to give her some credit, she is one cunning woman. She knew that would explain a sudden lack of any wound on her hand. Oh, why yes, ferries are wonderful. The other day I slammed my hand with the gavel and one took the pain off immediately. Great, glad to know they're used for such important things. But, dang it, too bad there's no way to tell whose blood is on the cloth. I do believe this matter has been settled. I am ready to call my next witness. Uh-oh, is that all I can get out of her? You served your purpose, Sheikah. Be gone! Fine, but you had best treat Her Highness with respect, or I'll see to it that you spend the night in the dungeons. Do not presume to threaten me, Sheikah. A night of darkness and solitude would be nothing but comfort for me. Is that so? Then perhaps we should fill the dungeons with lit candles for the occasion. They're glaring daggers at each other. If this doesn't end soon, we're all in trouble. Order, order. I'm sure we'll treat the princess with utmost respect. You may step down, detective. This case has already made me weary with all the pointless jabber. Time is ripe to deal the final blow. I call Her Highness, Princess Zelda of Hyrule, to the stand. I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be right back. I need water! Okay. Okay. Heimer's right to deal the final blow. But first we go fishing. Alright. Take a look at this bloody cloth real quick. Do I have to saw clean with this? Okay. It's a different model for Zelda. At least it looks like one. Ah, you got a nugget. Is something the matter? Why is everyone quiet all of a sudden? Oh, Your Highness. I believe we're all just a bit uncertain on how to proceed. It's quite the honor to have such an esteemed guest in these halls. Bah! In the face of the law, the princess is no different from a peasant. Name and occupation, now! The prosecution will behave. I will not have any derogatory statements directed at the princess. Derogatory? I simply wish not to waste any more time. I must employ proper procedure. Oh, man. It's alright, Detective. I believe the prosecution does have a point. And that's the law we are holding. This I am just a witness. Oh, I should not be getting special treatment. Very admirable, Your Highness. We can all rest easy knowing that Hyrule's destined to have such a wise monarch in its future. Yes, indeed. Our league await the day when the next ruler takes the throne and reshapes the kingdom in their image. You flatter me, Pastor. Now then, I believe I'll tell you my name and occupation. I am Zelda, current princess of Hyrule and heir apparent to the throne. Marvelous, Your Highness. Marvelous, Your Highness. Before we begin, I would just like to know, why are you at Lon Lon Ranch to witness a terrible incident? I was simple, really. All that ranch is how we can't have bigger food supply. Now it happens to really also the time was rolling guns for the finest of horsemen. Every other warfare makes a visit a chance for goodwill and show the quality of his teeth. Wow, I didn't know your horses were used by the Royal Guard. Yep, we work hard every year to make sure they're in the best possible condition. Well, I'd love to boast about it to the other ranch owners. Ha! Knowing talent, I'm sure he did. Unfortunate that the ranch may no longer meet the Crown's high standards under new management. The royal family has a backup, I trust. Naturally, those standards are quite high. Yes, yes, of course. Well then, please describe what you saw on the table incident. Very well. Here I go. Witness testimony. The scene behind the door. I ran along until after 8 a.m. Guarded by my loyal guards. I remember being surprised how quiet everything was. There was nobody there to welcome us. I said that something was wrong. I went to the ranch house and went inside. The room was mostly empty, but the table with some kind of crystal ball on top of it. But in front of the table, a terrifying scene was unveiled. The defendant hacked at the ranch owner's chest with the saw she was holding. I was overcome with fear and I screamed. I'll never forget what I saw that day. I heard the tower and his daughter were incredibly kind. I can't believe she would commit such horrible violence. What? Oh, wow, you saw the very moment the victim was killed. There you go. Decisive testimony. As there is no need to doubt the princess's statement, I call for the judge to make a ruling right away. Cat? Hey, now, hold on. I didn't get to cross-examine the witness yet. Oh. You haven't, fool, because there is no need. Did you not hear one word of what I said? Didn't you just say we should follow the procedures, treat the princess like any other witness? This is the defense's right. You complete? I believe the defense has a point. They do have every right to perform a cross-examination no matter who is testifying. I was quite looking forward to this part myself. I only ever read about court proceedings in the Royal Library. That being said, I will not tolerate any reckless accusations toward the princess. Is that clear? Naturally, Your Honor. Well, we're going to cross-examine the princess. This isn't going to end well. What's going to hit the prosecutor? It seems like a rather intense outburst. Well, I do have a guess. Oh? Because of the princess's status, it's possible that Dragmar didn't have an opportunity to discuss her testimony with her. That might mean this testimony is a surprise even to him. This could be my chance. Before we begin, there's just one thing that caught my attention. I believe the princess mentioned seeing some kind of glass ball at the crime scene. That would be this, I presume. Well, yes, that is exactly it. What is that? Oh, this is the bottle of perfume that father intended to give to Her Highness when she arrived. He quickly rode out to town to get it at the last moment. We didn't know the princess was coming instead of the king until only about 2 hours before the visitation. Oh, I therefore really don't need about it, so. As fascinating as this all is, the prosecution doesn't believe it's relevant to the case. It's good to have a full picture of the crime scene. The defense requests the bottle be accepted into evidence. Bah, desperate to latch onto every little thing, are you? Whatever, you can add it to the evidence if it'll make you happy. No skin off my teeth. In that case, we'll accept this bottle into evidence. And defense, begin your cross-examination. Give me just a second to check out. Alright, run me to after 8 AM, accompanied by my guards. Later than 8 AM. If these guards were with Her Highness, why were they not called as witnesses? We did question the guards, naturally. Apparently, they didn't get to see anything relevant. I was the only one at the crime scene. After seeing what was inside, the guard insisted that no one be allowed inside until the Sheikah force arrived. I've read that preserving the scene is vital. Quite correct. I'm sure the guards were absolutely thrilled with this order. Please proceed, witness. There was nobody who woke us. I was wrong. The table was on a crystal bottle top. Okay. Objection! Your Honor, Your Highness, I believe I found something that doesn't quite match up with the facts. How dare you question the princess? Or let the defense speak, prosecutor. I think you see why I so desperately want to prevent this cross-examination now. Your Highness, you stated that you arrived at the ranch shortly after 8 AM, correct? Yes, the visit was scheduled at 8:30, we were quite a bit early. I see. That makes something you mentioned quite impossible. As stated by the autopsy report, the victim definitely died before 8 AM. You couldn't have seen the defendant attack the ranch owner when you arrived. Because the victim was already dead by then! Order, order! Yes, you really caught her in a lie! Your Highness, what is the meaning of this? Why, the whole highly respected Sir of the Crown will not tolerate lies in my court. I have not lied, I suppose I did not see the exact moment it happened. I guess I only thought I did. Princess, this is a matter of life and death. I never saw the defendant there, though, alone with the body. There was no one else who could have done it. I remember all the other details correctly. The body's on the floor at the pool of blood. You have to believe me. This will be better, Her Highness, revises her testimony. That's not good. There's still not enough doubt to overturn his testimony. I'll have to find something else, so this case will be over. what I actually saw. I'm sorry for ability to intrude me. That's the actual moment of the attack. It had to have happened shortly before I went to the ranch house. Miss Mallow and her father were the only ones at the scene of the crime, so she must be the culprit. I see. You only saw the aftermath of the scene, not the actual crime being committed. Very well. Hopefully there are no issues in your testimony this time. Defense, it's time for your cross-examination. Naturally, Your Honor. Dragmire still looks pretty angry. I bet he didn't expect such a blatant contradiction to pop up. If I could just find another one like that, the princess's testimony would become completely untrustworthy in the eyes of the judge. Then we can get Ingo in here. What I actually saw. Let's see the actual moment of the attack. I had to have happened shortly before I went to the ranch house. Why do you say that, huh? How can you be so sure of that, princess? Well, when I entered the ranch house, the victim still had the murder weapon embedded into his body. What? It's obvious what that means, is it not? The killer did not even have enough time to try and hide the weapon. Yes, I might not have seen the murder firsthand, but I must have been very close to doing so. Oh my, it seems like a very important detail. I think it would be advisable for Her Highness to amend her testimony. Certainly, Your Honor. Interesting. Dragmire certainly doesn't look very happy about this development, does he? Thinking about it, I might just know why. Murder weapon still stuck in the victim's body after all. Objection! I believe I found another reason to doubt the witness's words. It seems the prosecution sees what I'm getting at here. There was a bloody cloth discovered at the scene of the crime. Prosecution has argued before that it was used to wipe the saw clean. The princess saw the saw lodged in Talon's body and the crime scene was left intact. Then it couldn't have been wiped! Hello, welcome to Ryukin Stream. We are very mature here. Well, Prosecutor Dragmire, care to explain? Grrr! This is most perplexing. Your Highness, are you sure that's what you saw? Objection. Well, maybe the princess decided to pull the saw in a valiant yet futile attempt to save the victim. And then wipe the blade clean? That would be almost like framing the defendant. Of course I did no such thing. I made sure that it was intact. I guess I must have made up the memory about the saw sticking out of Mr. Talon as well. You idiotic girl.
Oh,
Do you even realize what you've done through your bumbling?
I'm sorry. I was just so excited to stand in witness court just this once. Whenever I try to tell Father about anything, he always seems so disinterested. Just this once, I wanted to feel listened to. The defendant, it is clear that she did it. I just want to play a little part in her capture. I'm sorry for the trouble I've caused you all.
Your Highness, court is no place for silly games. As it stands, I'm afraid we will have to strike your statements from the court record completely.
Yes, I did it. The prosecution lost their key witness.
No, please wait. I have more to say. I was wrong about the crime scene, but I still have not testified about what I saw afterwards.
Why would we care about that? It's best that you leave and stop damaging my case with your idiocy.
Even if you're not interested in my words, you might be interested in the evidence I found.
What?
Huh?
Evidence?
Of course. While the Sheikah force investigated inside the ranch house, I looked around the rest of the ranch on my own.
Sheikah, did you know about this?
Of course I did.
You did?
I'll have your head for this. Order. What is the meaning of this, detective? Why have you withheld this from the court?
It's quite simple. The princess specifically requested to present her finding on her own.
What? And you agree to this? This court is not some playground where children decide where evidence should be presented just because they have a crown.
He's being rude about it, but I can't help but agree with Dragmire on this one. Also, I don't really buy this story. There's no way Impy would have allowed this. Believe me, I wasn't thrilled with the request either. However, after seeing the evidence in question, I didn't think it would be at all important to the case. Thus, I let the princess have her fun.
This is highly irregular. I'm not sure how to feel about this. Prosecutor? Naturally I object to this nonsense. If the detective thinks it's irrelevant, then this is probably just a waste of time. All the evidence points to the defendant. It's still clear she did it, even without a witness at the scene. Or is she? Defense?
What do we do?
If we object to presenting the evidence, the Dragmire loses his key witness. Plus, whatever the princess presents could be bad for our case too.
So we should agree with the prosecution?
Well, on the other hand, we don't really have much to go on. This could be our only lead left.
Well, don't keep us waiting. Surely you won't throw away all the progress you've made thus far.
What do I do? Request the evidence. I really hope this is the right choice. The defense requests that the evidence be presented.
What?
While I agree that the situation is irregular, we should still examine all evidence available. It would be silly to dismiss it as irrelevant without even seeing what it is.
I do believe you have a point, defense. However, I must warn you, in order to admit this piece of evidence into the court record, the princess's statement that she found it somewhere away from the scene has to be admitted as testimony.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm well aware. The defense wishes to give the princess just one more chance.
Of all the idiotic, foolish... Order. Very well then. Your Highness, please testify once more about the new piece of evidence you found during your own investigation.
Thank you. I will not tell this time, I promise.
The princess should understand the gravity of the situation at hand now. I just hope the new evidence isn't damaging to our case.
I wish to express my most heartfelt apologies for my mistake in your testimony. While in the ranch house, the defendant passed out in front of the victim, who was bleeding out. I took her to enter the ranch house till the Sheikah force arrived. With the Sheik and Sarah eventually quarantined, I decided to take a look around the ranch. When I was walking near the side, I noticed a strong odor in the air. I had to stop to see where it was coming from. I followed the scent and found a burned out fire nearby, and a small, nearly empty bottle of lamp oil. I, of course, took the bottle straight to the head detective. And here it is, the oil bottle I found. Is something wrong?
Well, this might actually be completely irrelevant. Yes, well. Of course there is, foolish girl. There's nothing to do with anything. You're great finding some random fire on a ranch? Please. What next? Are you going to declare Rick on the premise suspicious?
Well,
The prosecution will calm down. This is bad. Your Honor, despite the fact this evidence might not seem to add anything at the moment, the defense still asserts its right to a cross-examination. The straws have been grasped. Why must you insist on the charade defense? The princess has merely recounted the same view of the crime scene as the head detective. You haven't been able to find any contradictions in her statements. I believe there might be a way to tie the princess's new evidence into the case. Ridiculous! Regardless of what the prosecution thinks, the defense does have a right to cross-examination. The court admits the oil bottle into evidence. I just really hope this isn't a complete waste of time, defense, for both your own sake and your clients. That was the wrong voice. Alright, let me, inside near a burned out fire. Hammers, knives, wood saws, saddles, horseshoes, axes, brooms, flails, trowels, post pounders, drag harrows, water hoses, wheelbarrows, horse carts, tornadoes, cow nose rings. Yeah, there's no oil. Okay, let's see. Saw the defendant passed out in front of the victim, who was bleeding out. At the entrance to the ranch house, the Sheikah force arrived. So they'd take a look around the ranch. Hold it. You didn't just go home?
Arrived at the stage was supposed to last a lot longer. There was no space bagging the kids till much later. I came to the ranch to examine the horses, so I suppose I can at least do that in the meantime.
How long did it take the Sheikah to arrive at the scene?
It's not take very long to make the trip from Iowa Castletown to London Ranch. I cannot imagine it's more than 20 minutes.
That is pretty fast. Well, I imagine the fact the princess was involved helped speed it up. Slowpokes! I would be there in half that time, running backwards even. I suppose it's no surprise, though. Highland horses are naturally inferior to our fine Gerudo steeds.
The Gerudo buy horses from our ranch.
Just don't bother. He's trying to rile you up. Strong odor in the air. What was the smell like?
Oh, it was awful. Really terrible stench.
Baha! Surely you don't mean to say that you found the smell of horse manure suspicious.
That would be ridiculous. The smell was not coming from the horses.
Followed the scent, found a burned out fire nearby and a small, nearly empty bottle of oil. Fire, huh? Now let me remind you, defense, there's any number of reasons why fire could have been there. Still feel the cold grasp of death early in the morn. Princess! How long would you estimate the fire had been out before you found it?
Oh, right. There was still smoke rising out of the ashes, so it must have been put out recently.
Huh. So around the time of the crime. So someone prepared their breakfast there. I repeat, this fire is irrelevant. You just realized the same thing I did. Well, who was it? Who could have lit that fire anyway? It would have had to have been the ranch worker who was putting the milk shipments together at the time. It was almost certainly him. If you really want to ask about his little barbecue, you might just get your wish soon.
Doesn't sound like it's very appetizing. Without anything concrete to pin on him, he'll just be able to brush it off.
Of course, took the bottle straight to the head detective.
Right, she allowed you to present it?
Well, I was the one to find it, and since I was going to the trial anyway.
Utter ridiculousness. Yes. Please make this the last time you do something like this, Your Highness. Proper procedures exist for a reason.
Yes, I understand.
Do you have any idea why there would be a fire at the ranch that day?
No, it's pretty odd.
It sounds like it's definitely worth looking into. Although it'll be hard to link to the crime in any way. In a situation like this, getting as much info as possible is my best bet.
Which means pressing. We're gonna take a quick ad break.
And we'll be right back.
Phone go. All right, welcome back. We're gonna start pressing. There's no need to press the princess on her apology. Already wasted the chance to throw out her testimony. Rush, defense, please get to the point. Yikes.
Was there anything else in the room?
Oh, the beautiful little crystal bottle I mentioned before. The house was rather barren.
Most of our things are on the top floor since
Downstairs room is mostly used for ranch business these days.
and the occasional game.
Oh, course! Dad's famous Kako game!
Good old days.
There's a defense done reminiscing. There will be plenty of time to do that when the defendant's behind bars.
I was just trying to distract myself from the fact there's nothing to latch onto here.
Still guard the entrance to the city for
Anything happened during that time?
No, not that I recall. Guards did occasionally protest, asked me to let them take over, but I held my stance.
Well, commendable in theory, staying in the same room as dangerous killers, and very wise. What if she woke up and lashed out at you?
Oh, sweet highly up above.
That thought did not adhere to me.
Bah, of course not.
Foolish girl.
The guy didn't say close by. I would have been safe.
Wonderful to see how much faith our princess has in our royal guard.
Yes, of course I do. In any case.
Defense, I believe that is enough. It doesn't seem like you're getting any closer to finding a connection between this fire and the crime at all.
No, I suppose not, Your Honor.
Naturally, I've said this is a waste of time from the beginning. In that case, this cross-examination is over. Thank you for your time, Your Highness. I assume you have no more revelations to share with us?
No, I do not. I really important.
Leave my sight.
Enough. Your Highness, if you would allow me to escort you back to Hyrule Castle.
Very well.
Now that the princess's little game is over, we should move this along. The prosecution's stance is still the same, of course. We maintain the evidence on its own is enough to convict the defendant. I do believe I'm ready to hand down my verdict.
But, Your Honor, there's nothing that definitively shows that Malin committed the crime. This is all circumstantial. There's no way she'd kill her own father.
Oh, there's your excellent point, defense. Prosecution's yet to elaborate on the defendant's motive. Patricide is not something a person commits lightly. Bah, I did briefly touch on the subject during my opening statement. But, naturally, prosecution is fully prepared to elaborate on the matter. When did I call my third witness?
It has to be that ranch worker.
Before calling him in, though, the prosecutor requests a brief recess to prepare.
I thought you said you were already prepared. Maybe he wants to double check this new witness won't pull anything weird like the princess did.
Ow. Ah, my leg. Very well, I do believe a break would benefit us all. The court will reconvene after a 15-minute recess. Court is adjourned.
Ah! I need a leg rest.
It's not going all that well, is it?
No, I think that went about as well as I could have, actually, given the circumstances. We exposed the worst of the princess's testimony as untrue.
I can't believe she just makes stuff up like that.
Yeah, that was surprising. Still, the issue is that we didn't manage to shake the core of the argument. Only there was anyone else in that house.
Now, there's no need to look so glum.
Detective, aren't you supposed to be escorting the princess back?
The carriage is being prepared. I thought I'd drop by in the meantime. You've really managed to make Dragmire furious, you know.
I have?
Oh, that was like, I have? If you listen carefully, you just might be able to hear him ranting over in the prosecutor's lobby. I gotta stand up for a bit. My leg hurts. He's really giving his upcoming witness a grilling. Expect him to try to shut you down as fast as he can. Well, that would be worrying if I had anything he could shut down in the first place, I guess. Oh, but you do. What do you mean? Oh, come on now. I'm talking about the princess's grand discovery, of course. The fire? Wasn't able to do anything with that. You really think it's relevant? Don't get me wrong. At present, I'm convinced the girl did it. We investigated and came to this conclusion for a reason. But I'm willing to explore every possibility. That fire is definitely a bit strange, and I dare say may be your only way out of this.
If I may be so bold, I think you should press the next witness on that topic. Hard. As the only other person working on the ranch at the time, he is the only one who could have had lit that fire. If he is hiding something, I think the court deserves to know. Thing is, next testimony is about the motive. It's going to be difficult to bring up the fire again without Dragmire objecting. You'll have to make it work. As much as I don't like it, she's right. There really isn't a whole lot else to go on here. Well, thank you. Don't mention it. One last thing. You, ranch girl.
Me?
Try not to hold that testimony against the princess. Believe me, I'm sure she was acting with the best of intentions in mind.
You know the road to the Dark Realm is paved with those, right?
Perhaps. It was definitely a serious lapse of judgment, one she will live to regret. Part of this comes from the fact that she's rather sheltered and inexperienced. After the sudden death of her older sister last year, she was thrust into the role of an heir very suddenly. Her older sister? That's right, the mysterious death of the firstborn Princess Zelda. Hyrule still grieves after the events of that day, and yet no one knows what exactly happened. In the void of information, conspiracy theories run amok. People blaming the royal guard, the Sheikah, and even the king himself. The princess will soon have a whole kingdom's worth of troubles on her shoulders. For a kingdom with a history as turbulent as ours, it's a lot to handle. The princess's conduct today probably won't help with the distrust some people have of the crown right now, though. She's wise beyond her years. She will learn, and she will be better. I simply ask that you don't think of her as an enemy, whatever comes of this trial. She does not need more than she already has. Wow, she's so intense. I never expected to see Impa get so emotional. I guess all this is why she decided to take the blame for the princess's impromptu investigation.
Detective Impa.
What is it, soldier? I am quite busy at the moment, so please be quick.
The investigation team back at the ranch has just sent word of a new development. Something about a milk shipment being returned to the ranch because of a wrong recipient address. They're asking you to come over to see it.
Oh, those idiots. I don't have time for this. Send someone else. I have to escort the princess to the castle.
Roger.
That did remind me, though. I took this bottle of milk from a couple of guards who were slacking on the job earlier. Here, ranch girl. Perhaps it'll help calm your nerves somewhat. Not to worry, it's still unopened.
Oh, thank you.
That's nice of her. Too bad for those guards, though. Now then, I believe the princess's carriage should be prepared by now. If you'll excuse me.
Bleh, it's sour. I think I'm so nervous right now. Milk has just lost its flavor.
Huh? Lost its flavor? But Lon milk is always so tasty. Are you sure it's just nerves? Let me try some. Huh? You're right. I assume this would have come from one of yesterday's shipments.
Probably. With the investigation at the ranch, there wouldn't be any today, so... maybe just isn't fresh?
Or it's been watered down. No, I don't think so. It doesn't really taste as if it's gone bad. Also, the guard said that one of yesterday's shipments was misaddressed, didn't he? This was all handled by Ingo, wasn't it? I think there's something odd going on. I better make some notes about this in the court record. Alright, let's take a look. Seems strangely tasteless.
Friends, the court is about to reconvene. Escort your client back to the courtroom at once.
So it comes down to this. The conclusion's approaching. Time to turn the situation around. I've got 5 hearts.
Orders back to search for the trial mound of Lon Ranch. I've searched for the prosecution file witnesses already. Naturally, I've personally seen to it that there will be no foolishness this time around.
Hopefully his ears are intact. As we discussed before the recess, having established the opportunity and means for the defendant to have committed the murder, only one matter remains. Matter of motive. For naturally, such a heinous crime couldn't be the result of mere happenstance. Prosecution believes the defendant had a deep desire that pushed her to patricide. Our next witness can shed light on the matter. Fascinating. Very well, please proceed. Prosecution calls the ranch worker Ingo to the stand.
Ah, it's funny seeing Mr. Ingo in such fancy clothes.
Oh.
Yeah, he almost always just wears his work dungarees. It's almost like looking at a different person.
Well, I guess he wanted to dress up for court. He won't want to get this nice outfit dirty by working in it. Quiet, defense. Witness, state your name and occupation.
Your Honor, great honorable prosecutor. My name is Ingo. I mine land on the ranch.
Mind? What does that entail exactly?
Oh, I'm mostly there to work on the structures and equipment. The owner and daughter are the ones who tend to the animals and take care of orders.
How long have you been working at the ranch?
This will be several years at this point. There have been others who came and went, but I, Ingo, have persevered through all the hardships.
Sounds like he wants a medal for it.
Well, he does get a bit pompous at times, but Ingo really is a great help. He built the ranch's silo single-handedly.
Oh, that's some dedication. Very well. Given that you're clearly an important employee, you are privy to some inside information. Is that correct?
Yes, the ranch owner shared all the big plans with me. He trusted me implicitly. He used to say that we're like a big family.
That sounds lovely. That sounds like a red flag that you're gonna be getting loads of unpaid overtime. Evidently, not every member of your so-called family felt that same way, though, did they?
It hurts to do this, but I have no choice. Hear my story, Honorable Court of Law.
The matter of motive.
Just a couple days ago, the owner, Talon, partly signed the ranch over to his daughter, Malin. Talon became a life tenant, with Malin meant to inherit all of the assets after his death. As long as Talon lived, Malin could not sell the ranch. It's simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon to get full ownership and leave the dingy ranch life behind. It's appalling how ungrateful she is after all Talon did for her.
There you have it. Testimony from a man who just lost everything. It's truly tragic to witness yet another family torn apart by greed. We have evidence. We have the defendant caught red-handed at the scene of the crime. Now we have a motive.
How do we know he's telling the truth?
But I have, of course, verified the witness's testimony. As per the law, all inheritance documents must be filed at the Castletown Notary Office to be considered valid. I saw fit to prepare this for the trial. The prosecution would like to submit the Lon Lon Ranch inheritance document into evidence.
Mr. Ingo, why would you?
You should pass judgment now, Judge. The defense has nothing.
I would like to cross-examine the witness. There are a few more details I feel are relevant. But of course, ask whatever you'd like. I, the hard-working Ingo, can handle it.
Very well, defense, please begin. Yeah.
Just a couple days ago, the owner, Talon, partly signed the ranch over to his daughter, Malin. What do you mean, partly? How long ago was this exactly? 3-4 days. I'm not sure the exact days.
Had it been planned for a long time?
But Talon was getting on in years. Better to take care of the matter sooner than later, eh?
Malin?
He's telling the truth. Father scheduled a visit to the notary office about a week ago.
What do you mean by partly, witness?
Talon became a life tenant, with Malin to inherit all the assets after his death. Talon hadn't become the ranch owner yet. But
Ah, of course not. Haven't you heard all the stories making rounds recently? So many ungrateful brats throwing their old folks into retirement homes the moment ownership signed to them. Talon was no fool. I myself convinced him that it was the safer option. If the girl was up to some chicanery, he could always revert his decision.
That's horrible. I'd never do that.
As much as I'd like to believe that, you did much worse by killing him. Children these days, you feed them, you raise them, and they pull a stunt like this as soon as you give them an inch over yourself.
I must concur, the younger generation is horrible.
Why do you look at me while saying that? Anyway, what that meant was... as long as Talon lived, Malin could not sell the ranch. But why would Malin want to sell the ranch right now? Why wouldn't she want to? Why would a pretty little girl like her want to work on some dingy ranch? She'd have it much better if she sold the old place and used the money to move to Castletown.
That's not true. I love working with the animals. I wouldn't leave them for anything.
Wah! She's off and slacking on the job while I, the hard-working Ingo, have to cover for her. I guess the Deku nut doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say. That Talon loved to sleep on the job, too.
Oh, I do recall quite a funny story about the London ranch owner blocking the side entrance to Hyrule Castle for an entire day once. The guards couldn't wake him up. To a particularly vocal cuckoo, apparently.
Ah, jeez. Well, there you go. I am the real reason why the ranch has such renown. Me, the hard-working Ingo.
Think that's not true at all.
I know, but how do I stop this? It's simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon and get full ownership, leave the DJ ranch right behind. Do you really think Malin would go that far? I don't want to think it, but clearly the events speak for themselves, don't they? Why wouldn't she just wait a few more years then? Talon was getting older, or perhaps she knew more and more work would be piling onto her. But really, how am I supposed to know? Ask her! That's alright. Well, if Malin didn't want to work, wouldn't she have done this earlier? As Talon's only child, she'd inherit the ranch. Muhaha, that's where you're wrong. For a long while, Talon planned to split the ranch between the girl and the crown. He was a patriotic man. He knew how much those horses meant to the royal guard. I wish he hadn't changed his mind now.
Is
this true?
Yes. Father's previous inheritance document did work that way.
How admirable. I guess familiar bonds won over his drive to help the kingdom. Truly a shame.
Yes, naturally, the girl wanted the whole thing, so she bided her time.
I think this sufficiently explains the timing. Let's continue, shall we?
Wait just a moment. There's one more problem with the timing that I'd like the witness to explain. Why would Malin have planned the murder for the day of the royal visitation specifically? More people around means more witnesses. You think she would have chosen any other day? Oh, did I forget to mention this? I overheard Talon arguing with her that very morning. He was telling her he changed his mind again. He was planning to tell the king that he'd be signing the ranch over to the crown. After the visitation was over, he'd head back to Castletown to change the inheritance back to the original split. What?
Despite the victim's wishy-washiness, it would appear he did make the right choice in the end. Because of that choice, if the defendant wanted to get the ranch, he had no time to waste that day.
Is this true too?
Absolutely not. Father wasn't planning to do that, and there was no argument either.
What to do about this argument then? Add it to the testimony. There was an argument about the inheritance. That sounds like an important fact to me. Your friend's requested be added to the testimony. Very well, witness, please do so. I'd be happy to you on there. Simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon to get full ownership, leave the ranch behind. Hold it. About what time did this happen? First thing in the morning. I was headed out to the silo to start the day's work. I just walked out the front door of the ranch house when I heard some yelling up behind me. You remember any specifics about what was said? Oh yes, it surprised me enough that I stopped to listen for a minute. Excuse me. It was all like...
but it's sorry about it, but the most important thing is to make sure the king will always be a steady supply of quality horses. Okay, what about me, father? How can you do this to me?
Marlon, this isn't about you. It's for the good of the entire kingdom.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I can't move up in life. I'm stuck in this double ranch forever.
I thought you loved the ranch. All the animals here, and Ingo's always around to help out the George too. He's pretty great, isn't he?
Yeah, Ingo is awesome, but I still hate you for this. This isn't over.
Oh, what a stirring reenactment. I will keep my thoughts of the witness acting skills to myself. There's no way this actually happened, though. Mom would never want to sell the ranch. Well, of course she'd say that now, you buffoon. Remember, she's under suspicion for murder. We can't trust the things she says. Well, I trust her, but the judge probably doesn't right now, and that's unfortunately what matters. Do you have anything in the court record that could refute this story? If you ask me, this whole inheritance issue could have been avoided if the crown wasn't so soft. In Gerudo Desert, there will be no question the fortress may seize whatever it desires. That's just messed up. No matter. Continue your testimony, farmhand. Share with us the true nature of the defendant. Let's see. I heard them arguing in the morning. Maybe. I'm thinking present this. No. I've got you now. What? I knew a simple ranch worker couldn't conduct the flock of so I just found a gaping hole in it.
Link, are you playing ranch workers are stupid?
That's not what I meant. On the other hand, certain attorneys definitely are, since what you just presented is entirely meaningless. Okay. Oh, sure, just gang up on me. Alright, let me take a look at court record real quick. Alan's loving father. I think this will do. Let's see. I heard them arguing about the inheritance that morning. No, you hold it! That man gave everything for her! He's got so many expensive presents over the years. Just look at that golden necklace she's wearing. That man spoiled her rotten. In fact, I think I saw another present he was meaning to give her on the very day he was killed. Now hold on a minute. You're not supposed to know that was there. Another gift? Oh yes, a little bottle of perfume, I believe. It's horrible. Talon was such a kind man. What happened to him is despicable. Is that last statement important? Yes. Your Honor, the defense wishes to add the statement about perfume to the testimony. Bah! What are you doing trying to implicate the defendant even harder? I think it's an important detail. The perfume is irrelevant. But I suppose the prosecution has no objections to strengthening our case. Very well, witness. Please add what you just said in your testimony. So there's some kind of perfume, I think. Hang on. Bought just before the crime. So he couldn't have seen it. Witness! What is it? Just to confirm, you say that this bottle of perfume was bought from Alan by your father, correct? What else would it be for? I assure you, Talon wasn't the type to indulge in perfumes. Far from it. Well, you're wrong, witness. Oh, is that so? Was the ranch owner truly a perfume connoisseur? No, Your Honor. The bottle of perfume was bought for the princess! So what, defense? Sure, it's technically a contradiction. What does that purpose of this bottle change? Yes, defense, I admit I'm confused as well. Please explain why this point is important. Early in the trial, Malin mentioned that Talon bought this perfume in preparation last minute. Isn't that right, Malin?
It sure is. We had a gift for the king prepared when the news arrived that it would actually be the princess making this visitation. Father quickly rode out into town to get a new gift.
This info puts one thing into question. Somebody's movements. Someone's movements around the ranch are put into serious doubt. Someone's? Well, don't keep us waiting then, Defense. Who is this person? Naturally, the person whose movements become suspect is... Ingo! The witness himself. If you recall, this bottle of perfume, which had just been purchased, was found at the crime scene. A crime scene the witness supposedly never went to. He shouldn't have known about the bottle! Whoa!
Order! The defense raises a very valid point. You simpleton, what is the meaning of this?
Well, witness, did you go to the scene of the crime at any point? No, of course I didn't. I was working the silo all day. I remember I saw the gift the day before the crime. The girl is lying. Talon must have gotten the gift the day before.
You're the one who's lying. Father didn't leave the ranch at all that day.
One's word against another's. Defense, do you have any way to prove that your version of events is true?
Ask at the store, find the receipt, smell the perfume. Let's just ask at the store. Why don't we send a soldier to ask the store owner when the bottle was bought?
Do you know how many people visit that store? It's inconceivable that the owner would remember every random purchase.
Any other ideas of defense? Well, look for the receipt. When you buy something, you usually get a receipt, and the receipt always shows the date of purchase.
Big brain, Link, big brain.
It might still be at the ranch house. I say we send someone out to look for it.
Father never throws receipts away. We have drawer 4 of them. The perfume one should be right on top.
I believe this idea has some merit. Soldiers, rush out to the ranch house immediately and search for that receipt. Your Honor. Yes, what is it, soldier?
We have just received the receipt from the team stationed at the crime scene.
Ugh. Very well, thank you. I shall now read it out.
There's a lot writing on this.
From Tingle's Mysterious Smells? You shop there? Ah, yes, I think I've seen that store. It's that eccentric-looking place in that back alley. You couldn't miss the blinding neon colors if you tried. It's another eyesore. The gall of this nobody running a monopoly on highly-end perfume is preposterous. Perhaps, but back to the matter at hand. The nerve of that dunderhead. Why would anyone ever shop at a store when everyone calls every other customer a fairy? A prosecutor. And the balloons! Oh, the balloons! That fool popped one right in my face! Prosecutor Dragmar! Continuing on, Purchase Island, 1 bottle of Rosy Rupee Land. Oh my! This is quite the price. Why, I would have to.
Your Honor, please! The date of purchase. Yes.
Right, date of purchase. Why, it's March 16th, the day of the murder!
Gah!
Order!
Yes, we got him.
Yeah, I think we're finally getting somewhere.
But this still doesn't mean anything. Perhaps the witness briefly went back to the ranch house or something and saw the bottle then.
Yes, that's it. I was getting thirsty, so I went back to get a drink. I must have seen the bottle then.
Oh, come on, you think we're gonna believe that?
You have any proof that he didn't?
Well,
I believe it's called for further testimony. As witness now claims that this is a crime scene for the murder, we should learn his exact movements that day.
My movements, well, alright, there's not a whole lot to say, though. It's unfortunate they managed to weasel out of that. But this next toast will be full of lies. This is my chance.
My non-suspicious movements.
As was already stated, I had volunteered to work in the silo. At one point, I briefly went back to the ranch house to get myself a glass of water. I went back to the silo right after that, stayed there until the courier came. I haven't been back to the ranch house at all since then. At some point, the detective came and told me what happened, and wow, was that detective one fine a woman.
Okay, I have to press him a bit.
See, I haven't done anything to warrant suspicion. Eat my shoes, you brat.
I'll pass. There has to be something wrong in there. You can't put a flawless story together that quickly. As was already stated, I had volunteered to work in the silo. What were you doing?
Working on shipments and fulfilling orders. We send out crates of milk and milk bars all across the kingdom every day, you know.
Milk bars?
Naturally, everyone wants a good drink, you know. And our milk is renowned as the best there is. I hear some others water theirs down. Despicable.
I see.
I think you said earlier that job is to work on the structures and equipment, though? Indeed, Talon and the girl would usually be the ones overseeing milk orders. However, since the royal visitation was happening that day, I felt they needed their minds unoccupied, so I took it upon myself to do it this time. After the murder, I got scared that the Sheikah Forces' investigation would delay the shipment, and that I, the great Ingo, would get the blame. Thankfully, it all went through fine.
Yeah, and you were so concerned with sending it off quickly that you wrote the wrong delivery address on it. Bah, you Hylians, ridiculous. Getting tipsy for something like milk? Bet you couldn't handle even a sip of the Gerudo's noble pursuit, a real man's drink. Real man's drink? Are most of the Gerudo women? Speaking of drinks, I believe the witness talked about how he had gotten himself a glass of water.
Yes, of course. Moving all that heavy stuff around works up a sweat, you see. I've got very thirsty and... At one point, I briefly went back to the ranch house to get myself a glass of water.
You didn't think to just take a sip of the milk you were handling?
No, it wouldn't be right. That milk was for the customers, you see. I just didn't want to get into any trouble.
A truly honest man. How dare you suggest he would steal from his own workplace?
Right, so what did you see at the house?
Nothing much. I got my drink and left. Still a lot of work to do, you see. I suppose I must have seen the perfume bottle then. In fact, yes, I remember it clearly now. I was there on the table plain as day. Muhaha!
Great.
What happened after that, witness?
I went back to the silo right after that.
And you were able to complete this so quickly on your own?
Bah, you don't know the might of the great Ingo. Hut, ha, pow, wham! I get things done in no time. I did almost break my back getting those crates out of the silo, though. There were so many, and all so heavy. It was like a puzzle in there. Anyway, that's not important. The point is... I haven't been back to the ranch house at all since then.
Are you sure?
Sure as can be, muhaha!
You never went back in, even after the crime was discovered.
Bah, they wouldn't let me in. Preserving the crime scene or some such. I couldn't even get any of my things. After I was questioned, no one gave me half a glance. I had to sleep in the stables that night.
Is what you just said important? I don't think it's important. I don't see how that could help.
Very well, witness. What happened then? At some point, the detective came and told me what happened. Wow, was that detective one fine woman?
The stables, that's not gonna help me.
Would you elaborate? She's the hard-working woman who gets to the point and takes what she wants. Not to mention her impeccable fashion sense. What's not to love? This is the part I wanted to elaborate on.
Well, he seems totally smitten with her.
Sure does. I wonder how Impel feels about it. Perhaps when this joy of a trial's over, I could, but no, it will have to wait. You thought you could distract me, did you? I, the genius ranch worker, can go see through your schemes.
He's sticking to that story, huh?
Yeah, it was a desperate fix, but it holds up surprisingly well.
I can hardly believe it's the samest thing I know. He's usually so nice.
I'm impressed with more details. He's sure to slip up somewhere. Has to be a piece of evidence or a profile waiting to disprove what he's saying. Alright, let's see. Defendant. Assigned to investigate the case. Witness to the murder. Let's dress up nicely for court. Let's see. There's something I'm missing here. Maybe I need to press him on sleeping in the... Yeah. Actually, that's a good idea. Hang on. Because then he wouldn't have his clothes all nice and fancy. Sleep in the stables that night. It was terrible. That's what you said. Important. It is important. Your Honor, I would like the witness to add his last statement to his testimony. What? How are you trying to pull now? Very well. Witness, please amend your statement. Yeah, fine, whatever. I didn't even get sleep or access to any of my belongings. I had to spend the night in the stables. You're dressed up pretty nice for someone who had to stay at night in the stables. Witness, there's something seriously wrong with your testimony. What? What are you talking about? You say you couldn't get any of your belongings because they were all at the ranch house, correct? A ranch house you were not allowed to go in? That's right. Well, that would imply you should still be wearing your work clothes. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but those don't look like work clothes at all.
Your friend has a point. The witness appears pretty well dressed for court. I can't imagine you would want to study those clothes during work.
Well, what do you have to say to that? Oh, of course. I can explain. It's simple. These are brand new. Yeah, on my way to the courthouse, I went shopping for a nice new outfit. After all, I couldn't very well show up to court dressed like a bum.
Yes, defense. Certainly people have a modicum of respect for the court and show up dressed appropriately.
What's that supposed to mean? This is my finest Zora suit.
Wah, 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 wah.
So you claim you bought these clothes after the crime, is that correct? Well, very much so. This morning, in fact. Why do I need to repeat myself? Do I accept that explanation? No. You buying those clothes today is simply impossible. What?
Oh, how can you claim so? Defense, as you know, evidence is everything in court.
Either prove that the witness couldn't have bought these clothes today, or get out. I think do one of that. This proves you couldn't have bought the clothes.
I must admit I don't see the connection here.
Because there is none. The defense is just wasting our time as usual. I needn't have worried. I need to rethink this. As you know, evidence is everything in court. You prove that the witness couldn't have bought these clothes today, or get out. Okay. Oh, because he's got him in the picture! I would like to turn the court's attention to this.
Why, this is one lovely pictograph. Reminds me of this historic days photographs on the fishing pond. What about this pictograph defense?
Well, just look at what Ingo is wearing. This photo's from Malon's childhood, but Ingo's very clearly wearing the same outfit he has on right now. He couldn't have bought it today! Yeah!
Order! I will have order. Why, the defense is absolutely correct. I hope the witness had a good explanation for this.
There, I think we finally got him. There's no way he can weasel out this time. Oh, unless someone weasels out for him.
Bah, isn't it obvious? Naturally, the witness knew he would need to wear his nice clothes for the royal visitation that was scheduled for that day. He brought them to the silo in advance so they could wheel a change just before the real visitation's arrival.
Oh, yes, of course. I needed to be presentable after all. I can't look like a bum in front of the most important people in the kingdom. Objection! Wait a minute, this is insane. What kind of kangaroo court is this? Prosecution keeps making excuses up on the spot. Ingo was clearly lying about buying the clothes before the trial. He's definitely trying to hide something. Your Honor, surely you won't accept this blatant perjury.
Accept it, Judge. There can be no other explanation. The prosecution explanation does seem plausible.
What?
However, the fact that the witness didn't simply say himself that he may have to lie about buying clothes is indeed very suspicious. Hence, the prosecution poses that there is no other possible explanation for its contradiction. What is your opinion on the matter? Can the defense think of an alternative version of events?
This is big. I really think this through. Ingo is acting really suspicious right now. He's desperately trying to patch up holes in his testimony to conceal his real movements. Why would he be doing that? Ingo has a wardrobe at the silo. Ingo is the victim. Ingo is the murderer. If it's not Malon, Ingo is the only other person who could have done this. I have to assume he did, if I want to think Malon is innocent. With that in mind, why would Ingo change out of his work clothes? What happened to make it necessary? They got dirty, Talon's blood got on them. Or eaten by a cow. When Ingo killed Talon, his clothes must have got blood on them. He had to change to something else to hide his involvement. But then wouldn't the Sheikah force have found the clothes in the house? How could they have disappeared? They were thrown in a fire. By uniting the three powers of Goddess of logic, reasoning, and understanding. The Trial Force! Ah! That's it! This explains everything! I believe I can offer an alternative explanation.
Nonsense! Judge, the defense spent far too long sitting in silence just now. They clearly have nothing. I call for a quick ruling.
Way too much work went into this mod. It's great! And not only can I explain it, but in fact, the defense firmly accuses the witness of the murder! Oh no! It's simple. The reason he had to swap his outfit, why he's been lying about the circumstances ever since, is because it got stained with the victim's blood.
Preposterous. If there were any discarded bloody clothes nearby, the Sheikah force would have found them. We would be trying someone else for murder right now.
Why, you're absolutely correct, prosecutor. Wait, what? Naturally, Ingo couldn't have left his bloody clothes lying around. And so he used this to dispose of them. Your Honor, cast your mind to the princess's last testimony.
Princesses. Oh, that mysterious fire. Surely you jest. You yourself made sure we all knew how meaningless her testimony was.
And yet, with this new context in mind, it gains a completely new meaning. An empty bottle of lamp oil found by a burned out fire. Ingo used this lamp oil to quickly burn away his stained work clothes. Well, how about it, witness? My scenario explains everything. You killed Talon and then tried to hide it. This is... No, hold on. What drivel are you spouting here? Me? Kill Talon? You already know that's impossible. Witness testimony. Too busy for murder. Everything you said is wrong. I have no idea what you're on about. I have an alibi for the time of the crime. I just couldn't have done it. There's no way I could have completed those milk shipments, killed Talon, and tried to hide my involvement. The fire was just made for a quick breakfast. There's no mystery there. Stop trying to pin on some poor innocent Ingo.
Now, I shouldn't have to remind you, Defense, but you yourself were surprised that Ingo was able to complete the shipment in time. Adding even more things for him to do in that time is preposterous.
That's right, the great Ingo is efficient at his job, but not that efficient. No, it had to have been him. I'm sure of it. There must be some trick at play here, some kind of shortcut. I must find it. Would it really have taken that long to murder someone and burn some clothes?
It would have taken long enough to definitely make the scheme infeasible.
Completing these shipments is a rather involved process. You have to milk the cows, clean the bottles, pour the milk into them, put them into crates, and load those onto a wagon. I love working with the cows. That part takes the longest because you only get a little at a time. As Mr. Ingo said, the whole thing really does take a while. Part of that, I usually have to work together to get it done in time for the courier's arrival.
There you go, Defense. Your own client knows this is unshakable truth.
Okay, so there's no way he could have completed the shipments and also do the killing. In that case, there had to be some way for him to finish the work faster. I just have to find it. I already know what it is. There we go. You're right, there's no way you could have completed those milk shipments. Ah, but did you though? Did you really complete those shipments properly?
Defense, I shouldn't have to remind you that Chief Force checked the boxes thoroughly. They were definitely full of milk bottles.
Oh, I'm sure it looked that way.
What are you getting at, Defense?
Here you go, Your Honor.
Huh? Milk for me? Are you trying to bribe the judge now? I didn't think you'd stoop so low. The Crown will be informed of this.
Oh, it's nothing like that. All I'm asking is His Honor to try tasting the milk. Just one little sip.
This is highly irregular. But, to be honest, I could use a drink. All this talking does make one's throat dry, you know.
Oh, I know. You probably talk the least out of everyone here, though.
It's Defense's choice. I'll go ahead and take a sip. Is this what passes for milk these days? This tastes almost like water.
Water? I have to agree. This is definitely not standard milk. As we've heard from the princess and the detective, Lon Lon Ranch is renowned for the quality of its products. But there's no way people would say that about milk this lousy.
Bah, whatever. As if the unwashed masses would know the difference between quality and garbage. Where are you going with this, Defense?
It's simple, you see. I received this bottle from Detective Impa, still unopened during the first recess. As we know, there were no milk shipments today, so this must have come from one of Ingo's shipments from yesterday.
Oh!
It's true that Ingo couldn't have murdered Talon and also completed the shipments on his own. Unless he cheated. Ingo watered down the milk to get the shipments done in time!
Order, order! Yes, I suppose that would work.
Indeed. All he had to do was milk fewer of the cows, Save enough time without ruining the taste too much. I guess he'd use about a 50-50 split of water and milk. This is... No! Darling!
Let me stop you right there. Huh? I will concede that something odd happened to that shipment, but all you have proven is that Ingo is a slacker.
How dare you!
Be quiet, you mongrel. Sure, Ingo watered down the milk. That doesn't make him a killer, though, does it?
Well, no. But now we do know that he definitely could have done it. We know he did go to the crime scene. And we know he did have the time and opportunity to kill Talon as well.
Yet there's a vital element missing still.
Huh?
Let me put it in simple terms so even you like you can understand.
Rebuttal.
You lack the murder weapon. If Ingo was the murderer, then it couldn't have been the saw.
With this piece of evidence, I've won the argument.
I'm afraid I don't see how that piece of evidence is relevant at all, defense.
Ah, the only thing you're winning here is a participation trophy. And here it is, a shiny new penalty, pal. I'm gonna go empty-handed. Alright, hang on. Like the murder weapon. Ingo was the murderer, then it couldn't have been the saw. And why is that?
It's simple. If the girl's story about working the fence is true, then she was using the saw while her father was being murdered. It could have been two places at the same time.
Do I agree with this? Yes. He wasn't murdered with a saw. I believe we're in complete agreement on this point.
Huh? You do realize the problems that creates for you, right?
I'm sure it can all be explained.
Ah, as if. But very well. Let's move on to why nothing else could have been the murder weapon either.
Where would the supposed other murder weapon have even come from? Couldn't he have used any old thing? Either answer the question, defense, or this discussion is over. No need to overthink this. Anywhere Ingo could have gotten a weapon from will do. Don't worry about the exact details later. Where would the supposed other mother weapon have come from? The ranch inventory. Have you forgotten this murder happened on a ranch? There are plenty of sharp things on site.
Oh, that's simply impossible.
We checked all sharp objects in the ranch and searched everyone. No fresh blood was found anywhere else. Couldn't Ingo have just wiped it off? Wiped it off? Blood leaves traces. It's not that easy to get rid of. People like that are so sensitive, but other beings like the Zoras can easily tell by smell. Naturally, this force employs people for just this task. Also, as the London Ranch focuses on selling horses and milk, the animals there aren't regularly butchered. There's no good reason why any of the tools would have fresh blood on them. Any such people would have stood out like a sore thumb. Well, I guess that's a good point. I have to rethink this. Couldn't you have just hidden it? Disposed of it? Couldn't you have just what? Spit it out. Sorry, still collecting my thoughts. Well, collecting what? It won't change the facts. Checked all sharp, no fresh blood was found anywhere else. Except for on this cloth! Nope. Disposed of it. Fresh blood was found anywhere else. Just wiped it off. Blood leaves traces. Couldn't Ingo have just disposed of it? Ah, that's impossible. You see, we checked all sharp objects on the ranch. No items from the ranch's inventory list were missing. That list is indisputable. Ingo made the list. Bah, use your head. There was a royal visitation scheduled for that day. The ranch owner needed everything to be in order. He would have doubled, even triple checked that list when he wrote it. Well, I suppose he would have, but that list is indisputable. But it was made by Ingo. The inventory list itself is false. Oh, fascinating. What exactly makes you question the veracity of this document? That would be something about the inventory itself, another piece of evidence. Another piece of evidence. Is that so? Well, go on then. Tell us what piece of evidence contradicts the inventory list. I should have just done the list itself. Oh, I messed up. I messed up. I gotta try again. It couldn't have been the saw. Yes, I agree with that. Gonna head out. Alright. I'm gonna finish this up soon, probably. This murder happened on a ranch. There's plenty of sharp things. No fresh blood was found anywhere. That's the point. I'm gonna have to rethink this. Could Ingo have just disposed of it? Possible, you see. Checked all sharp objects. No items from the ranch's inventory that's missing. This is indisputable. Oh, fascinating. What exactly makes you question the veracity of this document? That would be something about the inventory itself. It's simple. You only need a brief look at the inventory to see it can't be trusted. Oh! You can't just go around making such general statements, Defense. Point out what exactly about the inventory makes it suspect. Take that! Just look here. The one who compiled this list was Ingo himself. He could have easily falsified the counts as part of his plan. That doesn't matter. Nothing could have left the ranch. Yeah. Objection! Are you really sure nothing left the ranch? What about a few little shipments of milk? Preposterous. Have you forgotten that such shipments have been checked by the Sheikah Force before they were allowed to leave? That's true, but there was a place the Sheikah could have overlooked. What name are you babbling about? We're talking about bog standard crates here, boy. Not exactly vast dungeons full of nooks and crannies to stuff things into, are they? Where could they have missed a murder weapon? It's simple. They overlooked the crates themselves. There's some Canada Day stuff at the park. Ooh, fun. Ah, pre-roll ads. We'll do a quick ad break. And we'll be right back.
Alright, we're back. Alright. They overlooked the contents of the bottles. There's one place in the Great Sea couldn't have checked through it without ruining the shipments. Without ruining the shipments. Oh! That's right. Ingo put the murder weapon inside one of the bottles to conceal it from the search. That does seem plausible. Now wait just a moment. A weapon in a milk bottle wouldn't just go unnoticed. Someone would have reported it. How can you be so sure? You even know how much milk an average milk bar uses each day. All those shipments will most certainly be completely used up by now. Someone drinking from that bottle would have found it for sure. Choked on it even if they took too large a swig. It would be a huge scandal. Well, he's right about that, but he's missing some vital information. Someone would have reported it. Not unless the shipment returned. You would be correct that a weapon showing up in someone's milkshake would cause quite a stir. If the milk ever actually made it to any milk bar, that is. You see, I overheard a very interesting tale during the recess. Word was sent from the ranch not long ago that one of the shipments was returned unopened due to being misaddressed. No! Indeed, if you recall, Ingo was the one who handled all of that. Now that's strange, the ranch supplies the same milk bars every day. Even if he messed up the street address a little, the couriers would have known where the shipment was meant to go. How could he have bungled it that badly? It's almost as if he didn't want anyone receiving a bottle of milk with a murder weapon in it. Whoa! I bet Ingo expected this box to stay in shipping limbo a while longer. How unfortunate for him that the Postal Service was on its game today. Maybe because they were worried it'd start to smell. I believe this calls for us to investigate these boxes of milk more closely. Soldiers, have these boxes retrieved from the ranch immediately. Argument complete. Definitely didn't fail. This is slander. Why would I kill Talon? Sure, he's a bit of a layabout, but he did give me a job. Why would I want him dead? Motive? Well, that's simple. Why, I'm surprised you're even asking about it. Huh? This evidence easily explains your motive. The very inheritance document you brought to the court's attention states the following. In case of the testator's death, his daughter Malin of Lon Lon Ranch will inherit the ranch, unless she is unable to oversee it, in which case it shall be divided between the crown and the remaining employees. Oh! What? You not only killed Talon, but decided to frame Malin for the crime as well, so you would be the one to inherit part of the ranch. That's why you volunteered to work in the silo all day, gave you an alibi so that Malin would be the only possible culprit. Of course you knew about the royal visitation in advance. You knew Malin would go back to the ranch house to prepare before they arrived. A perfect setup for the royals to find her next to the body. No, no, no! What are you talking about? Talon signing the ranch over to me? Preposterous! Did he really not know? I guess it was Dragmire who procured the actual document, not him. Your Honor. What is it, soldier? The box you requested is here. Already? That was quite fast. Apparently the team at the ranch had already noticed something awry with it on their own. The box arrived just as we were about to rush out a courier to deliver a message. Well, well, well. Let's see for ourselves then, shall we? The part of the shipment that proves my case is... This one's all bloody. Here it is, from the bottle with a slight red tint to the milk. Looks like some kind of serrated knife. That explains the irregular wound pretty nicely. How could those Sheikah idiots have missed this? I'm sure the milk was pure white when they first checked it. It took a whole day for the blood to dissolve in it. Either way, no matter how you slice it, this proves my theory right.
Oscar! Oh, I've had it. Fine, fine. You wanna know why? You wanna know why I really killed that scumbag?
No, what are you?
So you admit it?
Yes, I admit it. What would you do if one day, after years of backbreaking labor, despite putting your all into the ranch, you were thrown away like rubbish without any reason? Fired! Farewell! We don't need you anymore!
What? But that doesn't make any sense!
Oh, don't lie, I heard it all. I was just returning back from another day of spine-wrenching work, and lo and behold, what's this? Malin and Talon are talking behind my back. I heard it all. We'll let him go after the visitation. We can handle things without him. And so, after volunteering to work on that shipment, I quietly slipped out while the girl was busy and shanked the good-for-nothing slacker. Ha! You should have seen his face. He didn't expect it at all.
We're talking about letting you go to the fair, you dumb shit!
So yes, Malin, I killed that lazy bum you called a father. And he deserved it.
Order! The witness will cease his boasting of such a terrible deed. I think we've heard enough. Soldiers, take him away!
Wait just a moment. Bingo.
Yes, girl, I want to apologize for what you've done.
Apologize? Me? You're horrible. We weren't planning to fire you at all. You completely misunderstood what we were saying.
What?
We've had so much work recently.
Well, you know how it goes with the royal visits. Always a busy time.
It's probably Malin though. Gotta make sure everything's in tip-top shape.
I do worry somewhat about old Ingo though. He's been complaining about his back recently. Do wish he'd take a step back and relax sometime.
Maybe we should convince him to take a vacation.
Waha!
Wait, he's supposed to be tomorrow.
Now there's an idea. It'll do him good.
I'll discuss it with him after the visitation. After things calm down, we can handle everything without him.
Wah!
That's, you were planning, what? A vacation for me? And I did, no, it can't be so. Please say it isn't so. What is happening right now? Death by Cucko? I guess that was his trial breakdown. What? Oh.
We have witnessed today the results of a truly horrifying misunderstanding. A misunderstanding or not, what you have done is unforgivable.
Talon was a kind man, beloved by all who had the good fortune to cross his path. His loss we felt not only at his ranch, but all across Hyrule.
The killer turned out to be an utterly pathetic man with delusions of grandeur. I mean, look at him! Another idiot dressed like a clown.
Jeez, he's really laying into him. I bet he's just upset because he lost.
The prosecution's rant aside, I think it's time to declare Datei's verdict. This is just a formality, but will the defendant please step up to the stand? Young miss, I am very sorry for the situation you have found yourself in. I'm very glad you appear to have such a good attorney as a friend.
I wouldn't have chosen anyone else.
Aw, thanks.
But without further ado, in the name of Fire and Six Blood Four, I hereby find Mountain Woodland Ranch not guilty. Court is adjourned.
We did it!
I suppose so.
I guess Ingo's outburst kind of soured the mood, huh?
I don't think I can ever forget Mr. Ingo for what he's done.
That's fair enough, honestly. But really, though, you shouldn't think about that for now. You're free. It's time to celebrate.
I guess you're right.
Excellent work. I knew you'd pull through. Oh, thanks. I couldn't have done it without you, really. So, thank you. Now, that's not quite right. If you want to thank someone, I'm not the one who deserves it the most. Huh? Your Highness! I thought you were going back to Hyrule Castle? What strings did Iba have to pull to get her here?
I realized you probably invited him personally.
It's an honor.
There's no need to bow after what I had done. Really, enough of my time. I'm probably carried up to prison alongside the England man.
Perjury's pretty serious. That's probably not entirely wrong. As usual, you don't give yourself enough credit, Your Highness. Yes, there are some things you should think twice about doing in the future. But it's all thanks to you that the young lady over here finally went free.
Huh?
Come on, attorney. Show Her Highness what I'm talking about. The bottle!
The bottle?
Well, it's true. Without this, without knowing about the fire, we wouldn't have had any proof to substantiate our claims. And, really, your obviously false testimony helped us a lot. Huge! Impa just stepped on my foot. Well, there you have it. In any case, I'm sure Miss Malin isn't too upset.
Well, sure.
Darn Hut! We have orders to escort the princess back to the castle immediately.
Ah, just in time. Farewell, Your Highness. And so they left. Now then, listen to me. I know that I am perhaps being too lenient on the princess, but tough times are ahead. The princess will need all the confidence she can get to lead the kingdom through them.
She needs to learn to take responsibility for her actions too, though.
And she will.
Huh?
Her Highness is in for a rather unpleasant afternoon today, I imagine. The urgency with which she has just been escorted out of here isn't coincidental.
What? Is the king going to scold her?
At the very least. Now then, my duties call, unfortunately, so I must be off. Again, you did well today, both of you. I trust that I'll be able to rely on you in future court proceedings as well. I'll try my best. That's all I ask. That unpleasant prosecutor seems to be making his way over here, so I'll be excusing myself post-haste. Farewell. Uh-oh.
You!
Hello. Nice day we're having, isn't it?
Tell me, now, where did that blasted detective go? To have my reputation tarnished this way, as some novice attorney from the boonies.
Dramatic much? I was about ready to burst from anger.
Don't be such a sore loser. You lost. Deal with it.
Yeah, we got the right verdict. Doesn't that make you even a little bit glad?
Huh. Yes, I suppose there's some worth in that. What transpired is most unfortunate. I can only offer my condolences. Just remember that it was the meddling of that idiotic princess and the stupidity of that blasted detective that led to your arrest. If you have any grievances, take it up with them. I suppose there's some truth to what he's saying. Speaking of the detective, it appears she has fled from me like a cuckoo on fire. Mark my words, she will regret what she's done for generations!
Well, that sure was something. I don't know if he was being sincere or just wanted to shift blame onto someone else.
Well, I wouldn't say he's entirely blameless. Never mind that. Do you think you'll be alright running the ranch by yourself? Of course I'll come visit, but I have my attorney duties too.
I'll get in touch with the castle. See if they can spare some men to work at the ranch. See, as my father may have seen, he really did prepare me to take over the one day, and he's taught me well. I'll make sure the animals are well cared for, just as they always have.
That's the spirit. I believe in you.
I really want to thank you for bringing the truth to light. If it wasn't for you, I don't even want to think about what could have happened.
Don't mention it. I'm just glad everything worked out in the end. And so ended a very personal case for me. Felt like a weight had been lifted off my back. Mal continued working at the ranch, hoping to make it prosper, even beyond what her father was able to accomplish. I didn't really think much about it, but the days following were some of the happiest I'd lived for a long time. Little did I know that a terrible tragedy would soon shock the entire kingdom, and I'd find myself smack dab in the middle of it. But that's a legend for another day. Huzzah! Hero of law!
We did it! We saved the ranch! Gotta say, these guys did an amazing job on this.
This might show us some more stuff that's gonna happen.
The princess is dead. And now Link gets put in jail for not having a license and practicing law.
Oh man. What the heck is that thing? It might be from a different N64 game. The Trial Force.
Ingo is put into prison. With some other guy. The princess. You are in so much trouble. Aha. You are in so much trouble. She's got a cat. Aw, and they buried him. Hot! And you! for playing. The end. For now, I guess. I mean, they put all this together, and they basically got the tools and the base and the groundwork. So they could make a sequel. I'd be down for that. I think it's just the end now, and I just... Scene select is now unlocked. Extra 1 is now unlocked. What is extra 1? Extras. What is extra 1? Meanwhile, somewhere else. Ooh. Super Talon game. Oh gosh. Oh my god, what the heck is this? Eh. Wah! Retry. Okay, okay. Worry. This is awesome. Worry. 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 Ah! Okay, 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 I think that's enough. Alright, that'll do it for today's stream. Thank you all for watching. Unfortunately, I couldn't beat Super Talon game. That was fun. I like that. I got a bit of a sore throat now from all the voice acting, but worth it. Sorry, I closed it. It's gone now. Oh, why did you gotta do that? Now I gotta return that somehow. Is it activity feed? Yeah, here we go. How do I reward? How do I refresh that? Maybe I gotta be in admin mode? Frick. Manage requests. You did it? Okay. Dang it, I had it down there so I could do that on my own. Anyway, I gotta go do some shopping. I'm gonna go get some more weed whacker wire. Finish up the weed whapping. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll come back later with some eco. Just not doing a whole lot there, but should be fun. Thank you for your calories. Yeah. Alright, thanks for watching. Giveaway for July. The voting is going to start today. I'll get that going real soon. Alright, thanks for watching, and take care.